What's happening, guys? We're up here getting Jackson cleaned up for his fall break vacation. Going on fall break this week in Kentucky. Right here you can see the design. We cleaned it up. It's a little bit different in the video, but if you want to see how to do this, make sure you finish the rest of this video. And Jackson, tell them what else they need to do.
Make sure you subscribe to Seancutshair, turn the bell notification on. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up.
That's right. Guys, stay tuned. We're going to keep doing these videos on Jackson's hair. Make sure I can teach you guys how to do designs as best I can. It's one of the harder things to communicate how to do, so I'm going to try to really break it down for you. We'll see you next time. Alright guys, this is Jackson again. We're going to do a freestyle design. We usually fade one side, do a design on the other. This right here is the area that we're going to do the design. If you were to imagine doing a bald line and then where you would blend to the top, it's the same exact area. Right here's some examples of what we've done. I just want you guys to see that we follow that shape most of the time. There's some cutout parts of the design. There's parts where the hair is the design. We do some fades in there sometimes, like that one in the front. This one next to the double outline. It just creates a lot of depth to the design and makes it a little extra pop with it. You can see we got a little better as we went. These are kind of in chronological order, but we'll get started on the one today. You guys will see me right here. Just kind of show the shape that I'm going to do, and then we'll start etching it in. And we're going to use the corner of our blade when we can. When we get to a long flat area, you can use the whole blade if you want, but again, we're just going to slowly start sketching this in. Little by little, we'll thicken it up where we want. To explain to you guys kind of where I put this, we started at the bottom of the edge up, and then we're going to go up over the ear, and then fill some space behind the ear, and then kind of whip it out into the fade on the back. And the reason I do that, I want to fill the space that we originally showed. I want to fill it as strategic as possible. So if I'm too close to the ear, it's going to leave too much dark hair above it. And if I'm too high, then it's going to leave too much underneath it. So ideally, using some swirls and some zigzags, and this line starts low, goes high, comes back. We're going to fill that space as much as possible. And as you guys do designs, you just kind of want to let it develop and go with, kind of what happens as you go. So like right there, he actually moved his head a little bit and got a little thick. I realized in the back I had blown it out, so I brought it to the front, kind of fanned it out at the front. Then differently than the last design that we did, I started to fan the back side of this out and split it, as you can kind of see some hair there right there. But I decided to just cut that all out and kind of change it up from the last design. So I'm just going to blow it out and make it kind of round into that design, then go up into that zigzag. And again, we're going to do a double outline back here on the back. And again, I get in the camera and blur it out, but we'll get that back to focus here in a second. You guys just double outline it, just cut it out evenly around it, bald out everything underneath it, and then we're going to set the front up to fade, do a bald fade right underneath where that design goes. We'll go in right here just like if we were fading the other side. We're going to set our bald guideline, and then you can kind of pretend that the top of the design is the end of that section, and then we're just going to fade that out like normal. You guys will see as I go that his hair is it's so dark and thick that I start out with a lot of hair, and I'm going to end up cutting it off, and I'm going to go shorter and shorter until we leave just a hint of hair right below the design, and it fades down to a bald fade. Guys, we're doing the same steps here as I always do. So slim line, then the gold FX, and then we'll do the shaver here in a second. That right there, guys, is the Hawk, the Barber Prodigy Influencer Edition. I picked those up in Vegas. If you saw the Vegas Expo vlog, or recap, I should say, those were mine in the video. They're super tight. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. At first, we thought that the new influencer editions were a little smoother and maybe ran a little better. but at this point I think it's about the same clipper, but they do look dope. So I got those, and then I got the Gold FXs. So here we're using the Gold FX shaver. I'm just going to bald it out down there at the very bottom underneath where we did the trimmer. You see my guy checking his haircut out there. This haircut was for school pictures. We were going to do color enhancement. He knew he was going to be fresh. And I'm telling you guys, he checks himself out way more than usual in this video. I was going to put a counter at the bottom and like chime every time he checked it out, but you guys pay attention to him. He can't keep his eyes off of it. So here we're going in. We're just going to fade this out like normal. And like I said, I'm using the lever. I'm going to end up cutting. Really what I'm just trying to do is have a feel for it and an eye for it and leave it dark right above, or should I say right below where the design is, and then we want to fade down to skin from there. So I'm just kind of playing with my lever and working that out until I get that faded out. On the back here, we're going to do basically a double outline and then fade it up into the bald fade. So I'll put in my bald line, and then as I work closer to the design, you're going to see me use my corner of my blade to basically mimic having that double outline, but as the fade goes up. There he goes looking again. I had to turn his head for him. I told you guys he's digging on this haircut. So here we go in with the 245 shave gel. I like this shave gel, guys, because it just stays wet. You can rub it in, it saturates the hair well. It'll give me plenty of time to do my design and razor that in. And it's good for the skin too, so he's not going to have as much irritation, and the blade glides nice and smooth. We're just going to go in. I'm going to try not to blow this out very much more. That's why I did most of the work with my trimmer. And I should add, guys, the reason that I did my trimmer and blew it out first as opposed to doing it real skinny and doing all the work with the razor is so when I do that double outline, I know that my design is where it's going to be finished. If I do it real skinny and then I do a double outline and a fade and then I come back and blow it out with my razor, I may cut off more hair than I planned on and lose my double outline or make it way too skinny or uneven. So I try to have it pretty much all the way set up, and then when I come in with my blade, I really try not to cut much more off, but just to sharpen up that edge and get all the hair out of the design. And make sure when you guys are doing razor work that you stretch the skin so you can see my thumb every time, opposite of where I'm using the razor. I'm going to stretch the skin away, and that's just going to keep that tension on the skin and allow you to do that razor work without pulling hair. It'll glide the smoothest that it can as long as you're stretching the skin away from it. So very important. All right, we're going to throw some color enhancement. This is the 245 No Drip. It's the Onyx Black, and this right here is my color card, guys. If you haven't seen it, there'll be a link at the end of the video. It's got multiple angles, as you can see. This corner is going to allow me to do the corner on both sides and get it real sharp, and then it's got a long flat so you can do the front hairline. And then as you guys are going to see on this other corner, I'm going to use the inside 90. You would use this on the corner at the C cup as well, but what that's going to do is prevent you, if you just use the straight edge and spray, you can spray on this particular one. I could spray some color into the design past that line where that corner is, or on a C cup you can spray it past that edge up and down onto their forehead near their eyebrow where you don't want it. So that's what that inside 90 is for. Guys, this color is just going to help you so much to get nice, clean, accurate angles. It's not really made for designs. This design, this works pretty well, but I'm just going to use it best I can to fit the shape of this design and put some color in there. And you'll see in these curves that it actually works very well. So the C cup right here, I'm going to use the curve here in a second. I want you guys to see, I'm going to spray air at first so I can tell where it's blowing, and then just lightly pull that trigger to get the color where I want. Same thing going through this lower edge of the design. And you don't spray the color directly on the hair. You're going to spray it on the card and count on it kind of splashing off over onto the hair. Feeling himself. You can see me spraying the card there and getting the excess just a little bit on the hairline. Just a tip for you guys, if you do spray any color outside of where you want it, spray a little alcohol on your razor, go in and bump that color back to where the edge is, and you can clean everything up nice and clean. Alright guys, this is the finished product. This is Jackson Cuts Hair on Instagram. Go follow him and show him some love. He's going to be a barber one day. It's my homie. If you guys like the cut, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to my channel. I'm going to try to drop a tutorial every Tuesday, along with a recap or a vlog from the events that I go to. And stay tuned for more freestyles and other tutorials. So appreciate you guys. See you next time.